try to be a conscious consumer often because I want to see Australian-made products bought and sold here in Australia. And I'd like to see more of our local manufacturing create the products and the jobs that keep us all gainfully employed here.
For example, I prefer shopping at Coles because I know the Coles Myer business group prefer to hire people that are underprivileged and disabled as opposed to Woolworths group who actually don't.
The overwhelming feeling that I can't do much in the war that we're fighting against the degradation of the environment and the rise of capitalism. I want to make a positive difference in the world, and to me sometimes making small choices about what I buy can make a bigger impact long term.
I'm 7th generation Australian Indigenous, and we have a real connection with stewardship with country and land, and we look after it because we are a part of it, and that's our responsibility. So conscious consumerism for me, that's a huge thing as part of it, that you reap what you sow.
Reading about news and staying up to date on what is happening around the world and understanding what a privileged position we're in a country like Australia where we can make choices. We have the finances to buy everything we need and everything we want and more. And I think that's a position where we can start taking decisions and having an impact beyond just getting what we need, but also making sure that the world can become a better place thanks to our financial decisions.
Corporates are made up of people, and people have a responsibility. So whether you're a person who's a consumer, a person who's working in a corporate head, or government employee, we each have a responsibility in whatever it is we put our hand to support each other.
If companies want to survive, they need to adapt to that positive triple bottom line.
I definitely think that companies have an ethical responsibility to their consumers these days. They can't just be a faceless brand that provides a product. Consumers are too conscious. They want to know who's behind it, what their values are. They want to connect with something. So just by the definition of that, they have no choice but to be conscious.
I would imagine it's a little bit of that seeing your children growing up and imagining what kind of a world you want your children to grow up in.
In the last 6 months or so under COVID, people have had a bit more time to do some research and are looking for places to purchase products that make sense to them.
I think corporates have a huge ability to solve social problems because he who has the gold rules the world. Basically, that's what it comes down to. If you have margin in your business or in your life, you have spare to be able to do stuff with it.
There's a lot of innovation going on in the corporate space. And I think as well, there is that way of being agile. They have this kind of, there is a bit more speed in the corporate space than you often see in the public space.
Being a conscious consumer is something that will only be on the rise, and I think that corporates and non-for-profits not only have a responsibility to speak to those consumers, but also do it authentically. I think it's not about doing a nominal partnership without meaning. I think driving things with purpose and real values that align with your business is just going to be beyond valuable to any company and non-for-profit.
As a culture worldwide, we need to shift. If we pulled the plug out of the bottom of the ocean and drained all the water out, we're on this whole big lump of dirt together. And I think when that realization starts to happen more and more, then yes, we'll look after ourselves, but we'll also help more and more other people as well. What do you want to be remembered for? What's your character that shines out by what you do?
This is the future. And if you want your company to survive into the future, it's a direction you're going to have to go. It's more a question if you want to do it now and gain the competitive advantage, or if you want to do it later and try to catch up to your competitors as they are zooming off.
but I want to know that what I'm buying isn't hurting anyone, isn't hurting the environment, and is going to set me up for a future that's sustainable. Please do the right thing for consumers around the world.
If you get the chance to walk the walk rather than just talk the talk, get out there and be proactive. Look for opportunities that match up with your own ethics or morals in your own business, and do your best to support a project or projects that make sense to you and make sense to your consumers and your customers.